Good afternoon, adventurers. It's Megan with Blue Mermaid Travel, and I am here with your weekly, 2 weeks this time, update for the weeks of June 25th and July 2nd, 2018. Not much by way to talk about for Universal this week, or last week for that matter, but a whole bunch of Disney stuff. So let's just jump right in, shall we? Let's talk about Universal real quick, and then we'll do Disney. So last week, Universal announced new scare zones, 2 new scare zones, and it really looks like this year's Halloween Horror Nights is shaping up to be very 1980s horror film themed, because the 2 new scare zones that they announced are going to be Revenge of Chucky and Killer Clowns from Outer Space. So never having been to Halloween Horror Nights myself, I had to go look up and see what is the difference between a scare zone and a haunted house, right? Haunted houses are kind of exactly what it sounds like. They are haunted houses. Scare zones are street experiences that are located throughout the park, with their own sets, sounds, scents, and the scare actors kind of come out of nowhere and they scare you, right? Because they're a scare zone. See what I did there? Yeah. Anyway, so they can't touch you, and you are not allowed to touch them, but otherwise they can get all up in your personal space, like super close to you, but they can't actually touch you. So anyway, so the 2 new scare zones that they announced were Revenge of Chucky and Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Now, I don't know if you did it, but when I was a kid, somehow or another, I wound up seeing Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I was probably like 8 or less when I saw it. And it scared the living daylights out of me because I'm a wimp. Yeah, I know it's super cheesy, but yeah, it did. So anyway, that's it for Universal. Let's talk Disney. So, in case you've been living under a rock, Toy Story Land opened up on June 30th. So there was a whole bunch coming from Disney specifically about Hollywood Studios. It was kind of like they got Toy Story Land open, and then all of a sudden they had like a whole bunch of other announcements to make about Hollywood Studios. So first of all, let's talk a little bit about Hollywood Studios. So Toy Story Land opened 2 new rides, Slinky Dog Dash and Alien Swirling Saucers. But they also opened a new quick service restaurant called Woody's Lunchbox. And the food there sounds like stuff that you would get at a place called Woody's Lunchbox. Lots of sandwiches, for example. So like the top 3 sandwiches they mentioned was a grilled 3-cheese sandwich, a barbecue brisket melt, and a smoked turkey sandwich. And sides included potato barrels, which I'm gonna assume means tater tots, tomato basil soup, or vegetable macaroni salad, which actually sounds pretty good. And then desserts included a raspberry tart and a chocolate hazelnut tart, which sounded really good too. You can mobile order for Woody's Lunchbox in the My Disney Experience app. So you just need to go in there and then you can order and then just show up and pick up. You don't even have to like wait in line to order or anything like that. Okay. The second thing that they announced last week, they officially released some images from the new Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, which is going to be in where the Great Movie Ride used to be. So if you didn't remember, they shut down the Great Movie Ride, I think the end of last year, maybe. Yeah. And they're replacing it with Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. And if you haven't seen the stills for it, in the whole concept, like they announced it at D23 Japan, and then they haven't said a whole lot more about it ever since. So I was kind of wondering if that was something that was actually still in the works, but apparently yes, it is. It looks like there was I can't remember, it was a short. I can't remember what movie it was released before. Maybe Frozen. like the first Frozen. But it was like, it started off, it was like an old Mickey Minnie short in black and white, and they're like riding along, and Minnie gets kidnapped by Pete, and Mickey goes to save her, but then they wind up doing like this crazy 3D thing where they come out of the screen, although it's not really 3D. Anyway, I don't know like how they're planning on doing this, but that looks very similar. The artwork that I've seen looks very similar to that short that I remember seeing. So we'll see what happens. That's all I know about it so far. The third thing that they mentioned is Lightning McQueen's Racing Academy, and they're calling it a show. But like in the Disney travel agent's website, my cat is trying to get in front of the screen. They specific, Seamus, don't do it. Don't do it. No, don't do it. He's going to do it. Come here, cat. Come here, kitty. We've been gone, and he needs love. That's exactly what it comes down to. Anyway, so the press release is listed on the My Disney, or the Disney travel agent site, and we can comment on it and ask questions. And every single time somebody asked, what kind of experience is this going to be? The response that we received was, this is going to be unlike any, like a one-of-a-kind kind of experience. So they're calling it a show, but I don't know what exactly it's going to be. It's going to be located near Rock and Roller Coaster. And it's going to feature, in addition to Lightning McQueen, Tow Mater, Cruz Ramirez, and of course the gang from Radiator Springs. So all of the characters that your kids know and love already. And it's going to be opening in early 2019. Again, I don't know if that means January. I don't know if that means February. It could mean March, for all we know. So anyway, that is all the news from Hollywood Studios right now. Let's move on and talk about this week. Okay, there's only really like 2-ish things. Yeah, three things that they've already announced this week, and all of them are focused on end of the year stuff. First of all, Disney is still promoting the crap out of this Fall into Magic package, which seems to suggest to me that it hasn't completely sold out yet. So if you don't remember, the Fall into Magic package is it's a 5-night package at select Disney resorts. It includes your accommodations. It includes 4-day park hopper passes. And then there are special events each night that are only for people who have registered under this package. So I think the first night is it's September 3rd through the 8th. I'd have to go back and look at my notes, but I think it's the 3rd through the 8th. So you come in on the 3rd. On the second day, on your first day, actually, it's dinner at Epcot with food inspired by the Food and Wine Festival, because that's what's going to be going on at that time. The second night is at Hollywood Studios, I think. You get, no, not Hollywood Studios, Animal Kingdom, where you get a private ride on Kilimanjaro safaris after hours, and then a special showing of Rivers of Light. The third night is at Hollywood Studios, where you get a 2-hour exclusive you get to visit Toy Story Land exclusively for 2 hours. So it's like a 2-hour pass into Toy Story Land. And then the fourth night is you get to go to the Not So Scary Halloween Party at Magic Kingdom, and then you check out the last night. It's at none of the value resorts. Caribbean Beach and Coronado Springs are the only 2 moderate resorts. The Port Orleans resorts are not. Most of the deluxe resorts are participating, and I think Saratoga Springs and Old Key West. So it sounds like those are not sold out yet. If it's something that you're interested in, let's start talking about it, because if you don't book it soon, it's gonna sell out. As always, it's a $200 deposit. Your final payment's due 30 days in advance, or 30 days before you travel. So anyway, that's it for that. Okay, here's the big thing. The Candlelight Processional Dining Packages go on sale on the 11th, on July the 11th, so in 2 days. So they've pushed back the Candlelight Processional to start on Thanksgiving Day this year, which is kind of the first time that they've done that. And it does show 3 times a night at 5, 6:45, and 8:15 p.m. Okay, so the dining package, in my opinion, if you want to do the Candlelight Processional, the dining package is definitely got to be the best way to do it. Because first of all, you get a meal. It can either be breakfast, lunch, or dinner. And you get a guaranteed seating at the Candlelight Processional. So you're not going to be like looking around for a seat. You're going to have dedicated seats for the Candlelight Processional, whichever performance you choose to go see. Because like I said, there's 3 performances. So there's a lot of information about this dining package that's come out. So let me just tell you first, the celebrity narrators that are confirmed for this year include Cheetah Rivera. I don't really know who Cheetah Rivera is. I'd have to go look it up. However, let me continue. Neil Patrick Harris, Whoopi Goldberg, Blair Underwood, Gary Sinise, Pat Sajak, Jodie Benson, who, if you don't recognize that name, that is the woman who did the voice of Ariel, the Little Mermaid. There's a few dates in there that they haven't announced who's going to be the celebrity narrator yet, so those are still to be determined, but these are the ones that are confirmed. Neil Patrick Harris has done it for many years. Pat Sajak has done it for many years. I think Gary Sinise and Jodie Benson both have too. In the past, they've had Kurt Russell do it, so he might come back again this year, but we're still waiting to see. And generally they do 2 nights in a row, so it's really like 6 performances. So anyway, here it is. Like almost every single sit-down restaurant in Epcot is participating in the Candlelight Processional Dining Packages. So wherever you want to eat, you can probably go there, right, and participate. Most of them have lunch and dinner packages. A select few have breakfast packages as well. So you can go to Akershus, Beer Garden, Chef de France, Coral Reef, the Garden Grill, both of the restaurants in Mexico Pavilion, Nine Dragons, both of the restaurants in Morocco, Restaurant Marrakesh and Spice Road Table. The Rose and Crown, Tepanito, and Tokyo Dining, both at Japan, and Tutto Italia and Via Napoli in Italy are all participating. So that's basically almost all the sit-down restaurants in Epcot. Plus, they are now offering breakfast, lunch, and dinner options at 2 of the Epcot area resorts. So at Ale and Compass, at Yacht Club, you can do breakfast, lunch, or dinner. And at Trattoria Al Forno, you can do breakfast or dinner, and that's at Boardwalk. Now, I have done the breakfast at Trattoria Al Forno. Typically, that is a character breakfast where you can see Rapunzel and Flynn and Ariel and Prince Eric. I would assume that would be the case for this as well. So if you're looking for a way to get in like a couple more characters, this might be a good way to do it. How much does this cost? It is not that bad, people. Okay, so breakfast is $38 plus tax for adults, and that's 10 years and older, just FYI. It's really painful for those of us who have a kid that just hit age 10 because it makes me sad. $22 plus tax for children ages 3 to 9. Lunch is $50 plus tax for adults, $16.99 plus tax for children. And then dinner is $55 plus tax for adults and $16.99 plus tax for children as well. Not bad considering it's table service dining. A few of them are actually buffets. Beer Garden is a buffet. Akershus is a buffet. So, you can actually, that's pretty good for buffets. Last thing, the holidays are returning to Disney officially as of the 8th of November, November 8th. They're going to start decorating the resorts for Christmas. We were fortunate enough to be in Disney last November when they decorated Yacht Club, and it is amazing. The decorations are not like generic decorations. They are tailored to the resort. So at Yacht Club, the decorations were very nautical. If you go to the Grand Floridian, it's going to be much more like English beachside kind of thing. But it's super cool, and they're all over the lobby. It's very nice. At Yacht Club, they actually had like a whole train set up. It was cool. But within the parks, obviously, Magic Kingdom will be decorated, but that's also where they have Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, so it will be decorated. At Hollywood Studios, Sunset Season's Greetings, which is like a laser effect show and that they do along with snow that comes down on Sunset Boulevard. It is Sunset Boulevard. Yeah, I think it's Sunset. Don't hold me to that. And then the Hollywood Tower of Terror is transformed with projections, which I thought would be kind of like cheesy, but they're really, really cool. And so it like shifts, and like you get toys. Last year they had Toy Story and Frozen and like Mickey's Christmas Carol and a few more, and it kind of rotates through, and it's really cool. And then of course Jingle Bell Jingle Bam will be back again this year as well. I know a lot of people are really upset because they used to have the lights. I think they're called the Osborne lights. And now they've taken those away. But I think they're trying really hard to replace it with something. And it's cool. I never did Osborne lights, so I don't know. But it's still pretty cool. I mean, I'm not going to lie. Anytime you can make it snow, but it's not really like snow, I'm on board. At Epcot, they'll have the International Festival of the Holidays, which begins on the 18th of November. And, of course, the Candlelight Processional begins on Thanksgiving Day on the 22nd. And then at Animal Kingdom, this year they're going to incorporate Diwali, which is the Festival of Lights in India. As part of the live show, it's new. It's kind of been revamped. Up a Great Bird Adventure. So that would be really cool to check out. So anyway, that's it for this week and last week. If you want to, well, first of all, if you're thinking about going to Disney for Thanksgiving, for Christmas, for the fall, what did I say? Thanksgiving, Disney. If you are thinking about going to Disney for Thanksgiving, Christmas, the fall, 2019, because 2019 packages are out and we can look them up now. Find us on Facebook and send us a message. You can find us at facebook.com/BlueMermaidVacations, or send us an email at info@bluemermaidtravel.com, and we can get started looking for your next magical Disney or Universal Studios vacation. Otherwise, everybody have a fantastic week, and we'll see you next time. And remember that adventure is out there.